to perform is higher than ever because they feel like they need to redeem China as a region. So far, so good.
That honestly impressed me the most when we were chatting to China in general, having those little individual team meetings, was the fact that all of these guys on China, they feel like this is one of the last opportunities they've got to really show what China has got as a region after the Shanghai Dragons. And now this is their time to shine. This is the time to show that they are nothing to be scoffed at when it comes to Overwatch as a region. And I'm definitely looking forward to it. I want to see what they're capable of in this match, and it's about to kick off in Thailand as the gates are opening. Josh, any comments on these compositions so far?
Well, it's Thailand without the Widowmaker, which is normally incredibly pivotal in these situations. And instead, it's going to be all up to Shy. He's going to have free reign across these sight lines. Well,
as it stands, just poking for the time being, but immediately Tidawat, he goes down straight away. Late Young is going to be claiming that kill. And with the main tank gone, Thailand, they're in a bit of a sticky situation. They don't have a Mercy player to really resurrect him back up. China have immediately taken control of the point. You can see them holding very far forward, just blocking them all the way out. Leave is dominating the high ground here on the Doomfist. Thailand look to try and re-engage here. The Panapan's going to get shut down straight away, and already another kill going the way of China means that they're in a very good position to hold this one very aggressively. Still, Shy going down, not ideal, but China just going to back off and hold safe for now.
And you see here that Thailand, the only DPS player that they had was the Sombra. Now they're getting the Widowmaker out because they need to be able to contest Shy. Sleep into the air, actually takes out Leave as he's up there. Doomfist taken onto the floor. Panny S. Strong play. Nana boost as well.
That's not ideal. Okay, I don't think that was the recipient of the Nana boost. That was not intended, but Oputo's going to make most of it anyway. Running them down with the SMG. Takes out Sky. Going to go for the second one. Just a hack on top. Why not? Let's go. Late Young going to be using his rally now to see if he can get any damage done. A little bit of sustenance. Puto forced to recall away or use his translocator, but Shy absolutely dominating. Gets 2 kills for his team. China holds strong.
Shy's a very strong player. You know, we were talking about Padapan when they were playing against Team Denmark and how good he looked on the Widowmaker, but he's got a few really strong Widows to contest on Team China. Honestly, Leave and Crystal are both really good as well. China have got 3 extremely capable Widowmakers. If one of them isn't on their game, the other 2 will step up. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Pan to win these 1v1s, especially when Thailand at the moment has so much on the back foot, and Apudo has to play in the back lines here just to distract.
He's found his target. EMP used just for Sky. He takes out at 150 HP, deletes him from the map, and that is cue for Thailand to go in now, but Leave responds. Using the Meteor Strike, gets a double kill, takes out both Padipan and Rocket, and now he's looking for a few more, but eventually now taken down by Aputo as well. Still, Thailand are losing. They don't really have the sustenance after losing a couple of their healers, which means China holding strong, 90% and counting. Can anyone even get on the point here, Josh?
95%. They will be able to get there. Tidawat's switched over onto Wrecking Ball as well, but they have to go through Shy's sightlines, and it's free pickings for him. He's just having
domination, mate. Domination. The double kill again for Shy. He's just taking pot shots all day long. The rest of China backing him up. Sound barrier on top. You know, it's the cherry on top, isn't it, at the end of that round, because they didn't even need to use their 2 defensive support ults. China, they're looking way too strong right now.
Not enough pressure, I think, aggressively, but it looks like Thailand really struggled with being able to navigate Shy's sightlines. You have to be able to put pressure aggressively and play at high tempo if your Widowmaker isn't confident in taking the 1v1. So you have to get up in Shy's face. But on the approach, Thailand were getting picked off. Leave was really disrupting along with Gushu. This was textbook of how to play Ruins from China. Thailand couldn't adapt fast enough.
Well, we're going to be moving into the next round shortly. It's looking like the players are going to be on the well, so maybe opting for a couple of those environmental kills. We'll see. But China still going to continue with the Doomfist Sombra. This time Shy not on the Widowmaker, but it's a composition that they've had a lot of success with so far in the Overwatch World Cup. We'll see what they can do with it. Very powerful composition. It seems like one of the most the stronger ones these days. You get a lot of information. You call the engagers for your Doomfist player to really get the maximum value.
And then punch him in the face for the one.
And then you punch him in the face, and that's the way you do it. I mean, we'll see what they can get done here. So far, no casualties on either side. In fact, Leave gets pressured, has to use his seismic slam, but it's going to be Jushu. Takes out Aputo, and now the collapse comes in straight in the close quarters. Can they get any kills here? Late Young backing up, but Thailand coming out on top. They turn it around. Nice little sleep down to Gushu's going to be napping on the job. Recall by Pan, wants to try and back off. The quick 180. He's going to get 1 kill. He might even just get the second one onto the D.Va. The D-Mech will do the job regardless as Thailand take control of the point.
China sacrificed positioning there in order to get the opening pick onto Aputo, and it ended up biting them because Thailand could get the collapse and China were not in a position to peel. You saw Late Young there, was not really able to do anything when we were on his POV, and I think this is a really strange swap actually from China. I would have expected them to go over to the Brigitte to counter Aputo and Padapan on the Genji and Tracer. Instead, they've gone for Sombra Tracer of their own.
Padapan, I mean, he's found the translocator, he deletes it out on the map, but now China's looking to engage, but in the backlines, that Postman's found Sky. One less support now for Team China. In fact, they're taking up over them. Shy wastes the EMP as well. Right now, China looking to try and clutch it out with a few key players, but they've all fallen, dropping like flies. D-Meg straight into the pit. See you later, Late Young. Right into the abyss. What do you reckon's down there in that well?
I think
usually water is held in wells, but it doesn't seem like there's any water down there.
No,
also, it seems like a bit of a safety hazard. I'm not going to lie.
I think if we SCP, tell us Mondata's gold is down there.
I can't believe you fit that reference in. I actually dislike you right now.
I don't know who Mondata
Can I get a new co-caster, please? I'm not a fan of this.
So China have made some changes to their composition as well. They've put Sky over to the Moira so he can't get dived as easily because Thailand are playing so aggressively. But China at the moment just cannot find the answer.
Here comes the Nano Blade. He finds one. Can he get a second? Not quite. Runs out, but the quick 180 into the Shuriken. Sky's down and out. He's looking for more though. Straight into the enemy spawn. He's bloodthirsty, baby, and he wants it. The Shurikens. Can he find the kill? So bloody close, but not quite. He's going to back off into the spawn. They are safe and sound. So China resetting efficiently, but still China, or I should say Thailand, are on 80% now, and they have 4 ultimates to use.
And only just now did China make the compositional switches that I would have liked from them, or that gets eaten up, I think. Solid play by Late Young to realize that that was coming. But Thailand, as you say, at 93%, and with all of the initiatives.
Well, Late Young going to be using a self-destruct to see if he can get any value. Still very young there, or very low, I should say. Late Young confused me there, messing up my words, but it doesn't matter. China seem to be winning out this fight off the back of Shy's sheer mechanical skill on the McCree. The late switch seemed to work out in favor for them, and they just managed to capture the point again in the overtime.
I was a little bit worried for China there, not going to lie, because I didn't think they were going to move over to a more defensive composition. But now that they have Thailand again swapping themselves, the Genji Tracer composition that used to be so powerful, the default for every team, is now very easily shut down by the Brigitte and the Wisdom of 3. So Thailand switching over to full triple tank, triple support.
Well, here we have it. The soundbite is going to be used by China, looking to try and take the team fight, but they've already lost Shy. This is abysmal for them. T1, he's trying a second one. Now Thailand going to be moving forward here. China using that transition a little bit too late there for my liking. Sky looking to try and save as many of his teammates as possible, but T1, he's just switched to this Reinhardt, and they're just going to man up onto the point. They flipped it over. Is there anyone on China? They can't Charlie 9 to this again. They've already had 2 of them the other day. I can't stand it, man. T1 with a third one, though. He's already built up this Earth Shatter. He's 10% away now. This is going to be beautiful if he can manage to get it off still. Overtime in favor of Thailand. But Guksu is trying to turn it around with the Primal Rage. Already got 1 kill. T1 falls as well. Guksu playing out of his mind. China have actually managed to turn this one around. But Thailand, I mean, they're not looking too badly still. They still are in advantage when it comes to the point. But China, I'm surprised they managed to turn that.
Well, China had to use a lot of ultimates to be able to get in there. The Brigitte is just giving armor to all of the rest of the team, and then the Primal Rage from Gushu really turns things around. Again, Gushu has been so great in the games that we've seen from him so far. But as Thailand tick up to these big ultimates, it will become harder and harder.
Only connects onto one, they stun him out. Nobody can capitalize on the fact that he was on the ground. No more damage being put in. T1 finally collects the kill onto lead. It's going to be the 1-for-1 trade. Still, the charge comes out. He's going to go for that Lotto Force plays, but it doesn't quite work out for them. Now the Primal Rage by Guksu, just going to control them up. Does manage to get the D-Make onto Mickey, and he's pushed them into the rest of Team China, straight into the jaws of defeat, because it looks like they have overwhelmingly won this team fight once again, despite Thailand using both their big crowd control abilities.
Oh, crazy situation. China just able to engage, disengage, play around that little choke point so well, bait out large abilities but not get punished for it, and the control of this choke point, the positioning from China is so good at being able to force out resources from Thailand. They are struggling to get in.
Taking the initiative straight away, 90% and counting. They're playing full-on aggression straight into them, not giving Thailand any opportunities. T1, he gets 2, another Earth Shatter. They're all down on the deck. Can he get any kills though? Not quite. China too good at punishing it, but somebody's on the point. Thailand desperately trying to recapture this. Party yes with the Coalescence. He's managed to find a double kill. Now Late Young's been D-Meg. Are they actually going to be able to do this? They bought enough time. Can the rest of Team Thailand actually get on the point here?
I think they can. They're coming in at the very last moment. Double wrecking ball for both teams. It's
They
anyone's
flipped it.
game and Thailand flips it.
Thailand looking for more opportunities now. Self-destruct by Mickey straight into the back lines. Doesn't find a kill, but Gutsu's going to go down. That's good enough for them. Self-destruct going to be used. Everyone has to get off the point for the time being. But can they focus down the rest of Team China now? They're playing so well. Focusing down Thailand one at a time. Picking them off. Leave gets the D-Mech onto Mickey, which is going to be brilliant for them into the rest of this fight. But Aputo tries to turn it around with a kill of his own. It's now on a pulse bomb by Shy. Not finding any picks off the back of it. It's a mess of a team fight, Josh. I'm not going to lie, mate. But it's looking spicy right now. Soundbire now built up by Thailand. Connects onto 5 of them. Gives them enough sustain to try and take this team fight even further. And Aputo follows it up. Thailand might just be able to do this and keep themselves in the game. And there you have it. Nicely done, Thailand. The crowd goes wild.
What an unbelievable fight at the end of that. The map is not over.
It's not over.
That was just them securing their first round of the game, and China made them work so hard for it. You've got to consider there, China were running a composition that was suboptimal for a long time, and were still able to hold on up until 0 to 99%. Thailand are really struggling even when they should be winning, but they are back in it, and at the moment it's level.
It's all about those aggressive forward holds, it feels like, for China. They're taking advantage and capitalizing off of Thailand's, a little bit of inconsistency in their play. But here we have it. It's the third and final round here of Ilios. Thailand, they've got an opportunity to bring this back and potentially take a map away from the juggernauts of this stage. We'll see if they can do it right now. We see Paddy Pan's going to be trying his hand at the Genji right now, looking for an opportunity to dive in with the rest of his team. The Shurikens are landing onto Leave, making him play a little bit more passive, but he dives straight in, and Lee finds a kill onto T1. Main tank gone. Thailand are in a bit of a tricky situation.
They certainly are, and Mickey was almost D-Mech there as well. Had to back off over to the health kit. China have just secured this area, and now they can play the point, take the capture, and play a little more inside. This Doomfist is going to be massive as soon as they get into these big, scrappy brawls on the point. That happens so often on Lighthouse. It's going to be quite difficult for Thailand to engage. They need a really clean dive, and T2 can't really peek at that much.
I love this positioning by China in general. They're playing super far forward with their tanks, really trying to force them out. And you can see this dive attempt coming in, but it might have just backfired. Pan finds the kill onto Leave. Can they get any follow-ups? The second one would be beautiful for them. China have to disengage away from this. They're falling too low. Going to wait for the heals from Sky. Now they're going to try and re-engage back in with the EMP, but Shy gets immediately brought down by Mickey. Thailand, this is a very good opportunity now for them to try and take this fight. Pan staying alive still, but Lee trying to clutch this one out. Rocket Punch just does not connect, but now the Nano Blade. Pan's looking for more. Immediately forces the Transcendence out. Coming out from China, they're keeping the rest of their team alive, and a Goop Boop as well keeps Pan away from getting any more damage out onto their team.
The reinforcements are slow for either team here. It was Thailand that took the engagement when they only had a few players returning from spawn, and it looks like China are going to be able to get the better end of it. As long as Rocket doesn't boot players into the pit, Yveltal takes a sky ride down into the well, and Thailand looks like they might be able to turn it. Again, so scrappy between these two teams. Neither of them want to give up the point.
Meteor Strike dodged out, and now that's the Primal Rage being forced out by T1. He gets hacked up though, and if we are going to quote ourselves from the other day, he's a bit of a walking potato, but not for much longer. Still moving on, and they're going to be seeing if they can recapture this point away from China. 80%, they finally do it. Thailand though, the question now remains, can they hold on to it?
I think that's a good investment of players, just a slow trickle into the point from China, because it bought them about 20-30% when they could have just given up after the Nano Blade and kept that Transcendence. So they're now in a pretty decent position. It's how they recontest the point and how Thailand choose to hold this. China have been very aggressive on the defense. We'll see if Thailand have the same idea.
Well, we're going to see what they can do. They've got an EMP to work with. Leave has been destroying them on the Doomfist. We'll see if they can focus him down effectively. He's going to initiate in, immediately falls incredibly low. Mickey's pounced on him. He's down and out. That's one threat gone. Now Thailand looking for a few more, and they're going to be able to do it. China, this is just a little bit of a tasty attempt by them. Mickey uses the self-destruct so he can get back into the mech, so he doesn't have to reset for the next fight.
Yushu's actually found a very late pick there on the Padapan. If China could reinforce quickly and come in with this Primal Rage and EMP, Padapan is not going to be there to clean up with a Nano Blade until very late in the fight.
China might just do that. Shy EMP, they know he's there, they detected him. Might try and pre-fire a couple of these corners, but China engaging onto the point now. And there goes the EMP into the back line. They've connected it onto Rocket. Rocket falling very low. Doesn't have any of the abilities to use here. China picked up 2 kills, looking for a few more. Hang on to Gucci now, the nano play. Man, it's your time to shine, sunshine. But he's not getting it. Hacked up, the Transcendence forces him back, and he's got no value out of those 2 ultimates. China playing this perfectly, and they've recaptured the point.
Yep, even a slight bit slow from China, but they just waited for Shy to get the perfect EMP onto both supports so that they knew there was a window of time where neither the sound barrier nor the nano blade could come out, because they had captured and removed abilities from both of the Ana and the Lucio from Thailand. That allows them the window to get those picks.
Here we have it. EMP used, connects onto Leave again, but can they bring him down? Yes, indeed he do. They can. Tinawat's in the back as well. Force them out of the fight. Thailand, they're going to be able to recapture this one. That's an overwhelming victory for them. So fast, I didn't even really get the chance to cast it, Josh. But there we have it. That's Overwatch sometimes, you know. But Thailand have expelled a lot of ultimates, expended a lot of ultimates, I should say. And China, they've got room to work with. They've got ultimates to work with.
They absolutely do, and Sky making the switch over to the Moira, just give them a little more healing and what will be the final fight. But China have got everything, as you were saying. The EMP engage there from Maputo was fantastic, but you've got to expect something similar from Shy. 85% though, he'll have to build it up a little bit in the fight. But
Initiation.
Even can initiate so hard here, they both have their ult.
Soundbar is going to be used by both these teams now to try and lead this fight in, and it's China once again that finds the first pick. Thailand, they've got to try and turn this one around now. 99-99, EMP being used. Thailand needs some kills, but it looks like it's going to be all China. The kill feed filled up with the white and red. The overtime ticking down now for China, and no one from Thailand is going to be able to get on that point. China take map number 1.
Strong play from them. The crowd a little more subdued than with the crazy infight on the previous round. It is a very Thailand-focused audience.
Believe it or not.
As you might guess. They played pretty well there. Very close map between the 2 teams.
And that's honestly more promising for me, I think, after watching Thailand, or after watching China yesterday. That is promising now, because Thailand, like we said, this is their opportunity to try and really secure their position in BlizzCon. Even if they take any sort of map away from China, not even winning the series could help them in the long run in terms of the map differential. We'll see. You know, you're raising your eyebrows at me. You're like,
they could. It's unlikely. It's unlikely. I think they really need to come out with the win there if they want to go on to BlizzCon. But that's not what the World Cup's completely about as well. For a lot of these players, it's about proving yourself. It's about showing that either your region or your country is, you know, deserving of respect. And I think Thailand can definitely still play for that, even if they do end up being out of the running for BlizzCon. But they aren't yet, definitely. And they're still in this game as well. They've had a decent performance on Ilios, I think. If you look at how they were taking engages, being decisive, they actually had some really strong engages, particularly around Maputo's Sombra.
Yeah, I was a big fan of the way they were working around it. It seems much more clean than the other day as well, from what we saw. A lot of mistakes they made from their initiations in with Mickey and whatnot, but we're going to go to see what map we're going to be seeing next, and it is, I'm not going to make the same joke again. I know what map it is. Do you know what map it is, Josh?
I'm going to leave it to you.
You're going to leave it to me? It's actually going to be King's Row that we're going to. One of my favorites. I've already mentioned that one. I do like King's Row. It's a very nice map. You can play a lot of Reinhardt on it. You can play a lot of Widowmaker on it.
Now, having said that, both of these 2 main tanks have really favored the Winston overall, and Gushu has been fantastic the whole time. And I just want to sing his praises again, because when you look at the patch that we're currently playing on and the big ultimates that are available, you got EMP, you got the nano blades coming out, you've got defensive support ultimates. The Primal Rage has taken a bit of a back seat compared to what we're used to in the Overwatch League. And Gushu is still able to get so much value out of it. This guy has really impressed me with his play so far.
I agree.
I'd love to see him in the Overwatch League representing one of these Chinese teams if they're interested.
It really would be fantastic. He's one of the shining stars of this tournament so far. Good main tank players, hard to find, as we found. Very hard to find.
Especially in ranked. Yeah. we were playing with Uber when we were playing the Talent game, and let me tell you.
Listen, don't throw shade at Uber. He lost sleep over that match, mate. I'm not even joking. The man was distraught after that loss. I think he took it to heart. I don't know if he's touched Overwatch since, but well, please don't give him a hard time. You know, he does take it to heart. But
bless him.
King's Row, bless him, bless his heart. King's Row. It's an interesting one because of how choke point it is. I mean, traditionally, you think of King's Row, you think of Reinhardt compositions, but like you mentioned, both these teams seem to be favoring a lot more Winston, a lot more mobility, which you can run. That's the beauty of this map, I feel like, is you can get a mixture of these happens, whether it's going to be Ryan Zarya based or just Winston Diva based.
And Tidawat actually has been playing a little bit of Ryan, and then they've been putting Mickey on the Brigitte as well, which was working pretty well for Thailand against Denmark in their opening game. But at the moment, as we were saying, much more divey compositions with both teams running that Sombra to scout.
Yeah, China on the attacking side. Going to look for opportunities, sending out the Shuriken, seeing if he can connect a shot or two, but immediate hack initiation in. That's a powerful combo, but can they bring down Lead? He's so close to going down finally. Pan, they need to try and keep him alive now. He doesn't have any of his cooldowns, and he is a bit useless when he doesn't have them. Still, he manages to evade himself out of the way of the rest of China, I should say, getting out of the action. Now he's going to send himself back up to the high ground. So Thailand, good defense so far.
I think you just invented a new country, Chinaland.
Chinaland.
Yeah.
Thailand.
What I love about that from Thailand is that, you got me going now, is that Aputo gets a hack onto a player that they can dive, and that's the Genji. Because as soon as you take away his abilities, he really too much. Anna has been hacked this time.
Straight away.
Instant engage.
This is beautiful stuff by Thailand. I love it because the initiations you can see, Aputo's making the calls, he's giving the information, but now the rocket punch from behind. Whoa, translocate in the nick of time. Pan doesn't find the kill. China going to be looking to see if they can recontest here, come back into the fight. Late Young taking a lot of damage, but Pan's back out again.
He certainly is, but with Velta getting the kill there on Pan ES, and now an engage coming out from Gushu, they're in a decent position. A lot of damage on Mickey, and he's been demech. Thailand really cannot commit ultimates to this fight. China just rolling over them, and I think that one just happened out of an overextension from Pan ES. A bit of mispositioning there from the Anna from Thailand.
Yeah, you see he got picked up immediately. Aputo might look for a re-engage here, moves onto the point, EMP straight in. Thailand looking to retake this. Nanabu shoots onto Tidawat. He's already connected 2 kills. Can he find any more? Leaps into the fray, into the backline, seeks to dodge that sleep dart, but now the primary is going to be used by Tidawat just to really propel this forward. He's going to be using his abilities, seeing if he can get into the backline straight away, sets up the kill onto Jushu. He's spotted Late Young as well, but unfortunately not going to be able to grab that one. Hacked up, but thankfully he leaped away just in the nick of time.
Very good re-engage from Thailand.
Brilliant re-engage.
But why were China all just sat on the point? I think they forgot that, you know, they hadn't secured point A yet. There was opportunity for these recontests to come in. They do have a load of ultimates. Because they got EMP'd, they weren't able to use anything.
The hack straight away onto Pan. That's what he's waiting for. I don't think it matters anyway, though. They find the kill onto Sky. Now Lee's using his blade. Finds a couple of, he puts in the damage, enough for Late Young to collect the rest of them. Still, they're going to start to recontest and recapture this point up. Overwhelming player advantage. They hack up Mickey as well, which means they've got this one. And Mickey being staggered, I should say, out of his mech. Not looking too great for Thailand, but China eventually get it in the end.
It's a decent hold as well from Thailand. I think they'll be reasonably happy with that. If you remember to how their King's Row went yesterday, they pretty much got rolled through point A and point B and just held on point C with a double sniper defense for a long time against Denmark. So they might be hoping for something similar. They've made some adjustments to their play as well, which has made the point A defense much stronger, playing a more aggressive composition where they can take the initiative, as they may be looking to do now.
Oh no. Aputo's caught out of position. Translocates away. Pan's going to peel for him as well, though. Nana moving into the back. Jushu has his primal rage. Self-destruct used by Mickey into the backline, but nobody's going to be dying from it. Now Late Young using his as well. Kills rolling in for China right now. Lee following it up. He's got those swift strike resets, and it is going to be a tasty push still for China. They're looking gold.
Another recontest can come in here if Aputo gets in a decent position. But who is that asleep on the floor? You're sleeping on the job. What are you doing? Get back to your team.
Mate. Was that Sky? Was he that far forward on the Anna?
I think it was Shy.
Shy, Sky. Yeah, that's a pain, China. Come on, sort that one out, lads.
Aputo will be looking for the engage here, though, with his EMP. Same thing that they did to be big. A.
EMP onto the support, which means that they've taken the Lucio out of the engagement. Now the Nana play done by Lee. Gets booped back, and now he's only got one target to deal with. And it's Tidawat with a Nana boost of his own. Puts in a decent amount of damage. Now he's going to be holding up the shield as Aputo picks up the target into the backline. Fire strike brings Lee down. Now the EMP from China. Looking to turn this one around, but unfortunately, EMPs can't stop a swinging German man. That's just not how it works, mate. You can't hack that. That's raw mechanical strength.
As the famous saying goes, an EMP will never stop a strong German man with a hammer.
You really can't, can you?
No, but I think that was way over-aggressive from China. You know, occasionally they get these kind of tendencies, and the Chinese region has for a while, where they just get ahead of themselves a little bit. And in general, what I've been pretty impressed with about this Chinese team is they do tend to slow down in some situations and use their ultimates effectively. But that there was just Shy throwing one to the wind and hoping they could skill it. And
well,
really
China, they're going into the top left here, looking to engage very quickly onto Mickey. They're going to hack up T1. He's got no shield, no heals as well. The bubble blocks a lot of that, and Leave gets the rocket punch onto Pan. Sleep dart, beautifully done by Pan-ES, but is there any follow-up onto Leave? The rest of his team is there. Late Young's going to be peeling for him onto the high ground, and Leave's back in the fight. Mickey goes down, and I think China should be taking this fight overwhelmingly. There you have it. They didn't lose a single player in that fight.
And now that they've lost a fight just at checkpoint B, I wonder whether they make the switch to play that double sniper. It worked so well for them yesterday, but with Aputo's EMP active and both T1 and Mickey with their ultimates, it seems like they might stay on this composition. It could end up working badly for them. If they lose this fight, they lose a lot of momentum.
T1's going to look to try and get value out of this Earth Shatter. Puto trying to scout, you notice Rocket, or I should say, the Chinese Lucio players hiding around the corner. EMP is going to be used straight away. Soundbar on top. That's a huge Earth Shatter by T1. He collects a couple of players on the ground, but there's going to be no follow-up. The damage was not there. In fact, it's going to be Sky who gets the first kill, hacking up onto T1. Bubble in place, which means no heals available. Now the blade. Pan with the nano blade. Moving in. He's picked up so many bloody kills. 3 for him now. He's salvaged this operation for Thailand.
That was crazy from Padapan, and it seems like they can always rely on him to clutch it when it matters. Thailand wait until all of the resources have been expended from China. You know, they've moved forwards, they've used their defense matrix, they've used their mobilities, and then Thailand just whips in with this nanoblade and cleans everybody up. They can't rely on it forever, but at the moment they're sticking with the same composition. Yeah,
we'll see what they can do now. They've switched Jushu over to the Reinhardt as well. He wants to try and take the war against T1, but he doesn't know as Shy's in the back with that EMP. Unleashes it early. Mickey goes down. The rest of the team will follow suit. And Thailand, they've been made into mincemeat. They have to reset this. Pan's just juking them, pal. They thought he was about to reset off the edge. Just joking, mate. Jebaited straight into the spawn again.
Haha. Then Thailand now are going to find it really difficult to recontest here. They don't have an off-tank to really give T1 the heals he needs, and so much pressure is coming down on this Reinhardt from Thailand. Trying to know exactly how to push and pull him forwards and backwards.
Straight into the back line, so Aputo's going to try and get a kill onto Sky. He gets it. That's good for them. Thailand, this might still be winnable. EMP connects onto a few as well. They move into the back line, but it's an even trade between these two teams. China looking for any opportunity they can, but right now they're backing off. They're playing patient, they're playing slow, and this is good for China and Thailand, but also going to be happy they managed to even defend that in the first place.
Absolutely, that was a really difficult one for Thailand. T1 got away with quite a lot, was able to get to the card and block it, and they all focused on him, and a lot of space was given to the rest of his team. Padapan building up.
Almost got that blade, baby. He's going to look to try and unleash it. He doesn't have a nano boost to boot, but it might be enough to try and help Thailand at least prevent China from capping this one up.
Nice
block to come out to T1. They hacked him. I don't know if he used the Earth Shatter there, but he's not going to get it off. Still, Kukshu's going to have the nano boost put onto him, looking for any kills he can. T1 falling very low, but the heals are there. Charge comes out, not finding the picks. Now Pan unleashes the blade. He was waiting for the nano boost, but unfortunately Pan-ES was not there, but he's still getting value out of it anyway. 2 kills for it. Doesn't get the third because the soundbar from China will keep them up, but nobody is on the card from Thailand. And China will successfully cap it up in the final few minutes.
Great play there from Shy and Gushu as they just manipulated T1. He really couldn't do anything. Had to swing his shield to avoid the hack, and then the Reinhardt was coming at him from one direction, pushed and pulled all over the place. And Gushu, you know, I was saying that both of these teams in general have been playing a lot more of the Winston, but Gushu leads everybody at the moment in terms of final blows on Winston and Reinhardt. The only player to have above 13 final blows per 10 minutes on both of those heroes. So he is dominating the main tank position across the Bangkok World Cup stage right now. And even though they prefer using more mobile compositions, they do not struggle whatsoever if they have to pull out the Rhine. And you can see why there. The team coordination is sublime, especially for a team that's only been playing together for a couple of months.
Doing your homework, Josh. I like it.
Go.
Pulling out these statistics left, right, and centre, lad. Big fan, big fan.
I've got a big whiteboard in front of me that I'm just,
you're just
frantically scribbling
You're
on.
just reading off of them.
Nobody knows whether they're true. Could be making them up.
That's true. That's true. We don't have access to it.
I might throw in one that's just completely false later on.
I trust you. I think it's the accent.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I trust most things you say, honestly. Probably to my own dismay, but still, we're going to be getting into the second half of this one. China versus Thailand. Again, Thailand putting up a very strong defense, and look at that. China did not manage to cap with a couple of minutes remaining, so in the overtime, they pushed it in. It's good for Thailand. I honestly, I feel like I've been a little bit too harsh on them throughout this match. I didn't have high expectations coming into this match for them. I thought this was going to be a bit of a roll, but Thailand have been surprising me. I've got to give them a lot of respect here. They've been putting up a very good fight against China, really making them work for a lot of these wins.
Now this composition was working very well for China yesterday, particularly on Anubis. Leave is a pretty phenomenal Junkrat. I think Jake was getting tingles.
Was Jake getting a bit excited?
Jake was tingling all over, Brent.
China going to go for a pretty standard hold here on King's Row. We see this from a lot of teams. Eurus onto the high ground, but look at that engage by Thailand. Speed boost straight up. Going to be taking control of a lot here. Playing one person onto the point. It's T1, but Shy with the headshot. Quick and easy onto Pani S means that they have no more heals available, but T1's turn this around anyway. 2 kills onto him. Sky and Leave out in a fight. Mickey follows it up, and Thailand, wowie. Okay, boys. That's going to be a point taken. I mean, China might be able to recontest it, but that was overwhelming.
It absolutely was, and they've done their homework because they knew exactly where China were going to be positioned. They went slowly to the hotel, avoided the sight lines, moved up to the high ground, and really split attention of China. And even when Shy gets the pick onto Pani S, it's too little too late. Their positioning has already been compromised. With a Budo on the Sombra harassing them from behind and the tanks in the front, China, I think, had to be more decisive there. Play Leave aggressively with the Junkrat into them. You can't let them just avoid the Junkrat's damage the entire time.
Oh, Puto's going to be looking for a hack onto one of these key targets for Thailand to engage with. You see T1 holding close. China immediately trying to capitalize off it. You notice that? No hesitation, straight into the mix. But now the hack comes into the back line. Still, T1 using that Primal Rage. He's going to see if he can collect a kill onto Sky, but he moves his way into the tunnels. It's hard to get value out of it here, but he does indeed get the kill, while the rest of Thailand are going to clean up on the cards.
Rolling forwards there, only required 1 ultimate as well. Thailand keep the momentum going.
Not
now
bad.
The crowd gets behind them. They've got an opportunity here to set a pretty decent time for point B. It's very defensible once you get to point B, but China have to win this fight to slow them down, and there's a lot of ults coming up for Thailand. Are we going to see the classic EMP into Nanoblade? I think we might.
I think we might. I think that might be on the table. We'll see though. Thailand looking to try and push this cart as freely as possible before China engage. A Puto into the back. Hack onto Sky, which means no abilities that he can use. And now Nanoblade from Pan moves into the back, but he's struggling to find a couple of targets. Only finds the one, gets a second. Now it's time for Sky's turn to meet his makers. Straight back to the spawn queue. See you later, lads. And Thailand are dominating this one all the way in. All they're going to do is clean up the rest of these China players, and they're going to be golden.
Both tanks still in. Gushu's going to try and contest, but he's been hacked. Not able to use his Primal Rage to delay. But now he can, and actually Shy has the EMP. This is not looking winnable for Thailand anymore. They weren't able to get the picks quick enough and get those tanks off the cart. Late Young did such a phenomenal job at stalling, and now Gushu again with the Primal Rage. It just cannot be silenced.
EMP into the back as well. Shy has to back off there. He was on 20 HP, had to relocate away, but T1 is absolutely pounding. He's setting his team up for success. They found the kills off the back of it. Sleep down onto T1 as well. Going to be keeping him in place for a short while, but Shy's managed to stall this one out again, but not quite enough. Thailand, 4 minutes, 45 seconds remaining. They got checkpoint 2, Josh. It's looking good.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Shy didn't contest that a little longer there. He was on the Sombra, could have contested the cart, and Late Young was just about to. I think a bit of miscommunication from China. They could have held on to that for a little longer, but now an engage from Thailand.
Yeah, Thailand not wasting any time, using that soundbar as well. Got a bit of extra sustain coming out from them, but now it's China's turn to turn it around. Still, 2 more kills going their way. Thailand going to be doing a decent job here of baiting out the rest of China to try and engage into them. And right now it's anyone's game in this team fight. Still looking to see if they can pick up any more of these supports. Tidor doing a brilliant job of that, but at the same time, Jushu has moved his way into the back and Panias is down. They can't make use of that nano boost now. They have to wait for him to respawn, but I don't think it's going to matter anyway because it looks like they are winning this team fight. Still Tidor dodging, juking, seeing if he can get out the way of Jushu's Primal Rage. Will fall in the end, but it's going to be that even trade.
certainly is. Thailand now with the Nano Blade coming in. See what Padapan can get done. Out comes the EMP as well, and Shy goes down. There's only a couple of players left. And Padapan with the zoning.
Couldn't do anything, lads. Couldn't do anything. The zoning blade, he was hacked up. He had to just stand there and look at them and scare them off.
Just making sure they couldn't come to the card.
Of course, of course.
That's a great use of the ultimate. Keeps that momentum going. China have an opportunity to slow them down with their own EMP engage, but it all depends on how many Shy can hit.
Still, the EMP comes out, but Shy immediately goes down. Leave has to get value out of this blade. He moves around the corner. He finds Pani, yes, but China almost Charlie 9 it again. Still, Lee brings down both the supports, which is going to set up China for a decent defense now as they look to win this one out. Only one player remains, and there you have it. China, in the nick of time, they get a defense in this last point, but it's looking shaky, mate. You're clutching your chest.
I was sweating there for China. I thought they were just going to leave the card all uncontested. You know, I have a theory, Brent, that it's actually the best team. Oh, hello.
Hello.
I have a theory that it's actually the best teams that end up making the most C9s.
You think so?
Yeah.
Where's this personal theory come from?
Because London do it all the time. I've seen a lot of the other teams do it as well, but I think there might be something to that as well. Because the teams that are calling so much about having the correct position and the engages and disengages tend not to focus on the directly obvious stuff like standing on the card.
I think you're just making up excuses for your own play, mate.
No,
listen, this does not give anyone or any one of you in ranked at home an excuse to Charlie 9 off the point.
I think
remember the objectives. Please don't do this.
The best players
mate,
get
I already
kills.
hate playing with you in ranked. You just throw all the time.
That's
you just
not
feed
true.
into the back lines.
That's not true.
Don't do it, please.
Don't believe anything he's saying.
Sure.
But I think what we're seeing here is a much closer game than what you were expecting, what we were expecting coming into it.
Yeah.
Thailand, Norton 2, China looked so dominant coming in, and we're again coming back to this theory that we had about this stop being the most competitive of the World Cup. Even though China kind of destroyed Sweden in a number of maps yesterday, they I just got to get an opportunity to dig on reinforce. You know, I only get a couple. So even though they did have a dominant performance against Sweden yesterday, I think, and now they do look like the best team in the group, there's still a lot of parity here at Bangkok.
Yeah, it's very promising. It really is for a lot of these teams as well, because you might have looked at the first day and you look at yourself as like one of the weaker teams. You sort of think, God, I got to get through China now. But Thailand putting up a decent fight. They're showing that they are, beatable in these scenarios. It's looking very even between them. And Josh, you haven't really commented on my schoolboy uniform today.
No, you are looking delightful.
Yeah, it was really a toss-up between am I looking like a schoolboy or a substitute teacher?
Well,
what do you think?
Are they dressed the same?
I don't know.
That would be confusing.
Would you let me teach you mathematics?
No, absolutely not, because you know nothing about mathematics.
I'm pretty good at maths.
I don't believe that for a moment.
Give me any equation right now.
Any equation?
Yeah, any.
I'll give you an easy one. What's 2 plus 2?
It's 4. Minus 1, that's 3. Quick maths. Any day man's on the block. I forgot the words to it, but don't matter. It doesn't matter anyway.
It absolutely doesn't.
Yeah.
I would not trust you to teach me anything other than Overwatch. And even that.
Even then it's a little bit tricky.
Only slightly.
Yeah.
Only a small amount of faith in that. Only a small amount of faith.
I reckon I'd be a pretty good teacher. I'm not going to lie.
I don't think that's true at all.
Why not?
Because you...
I'm cool. I'd be down with the kids, fellow kids, Like, that's true. That's true. I reckon I'd be a cool teacher, All right, we got some replays. We got some footage for you.
We got some Overwatch.
I'm sure you're tired of looking at us stare lovingly into each other's eyes, but there you have it. We get to watch some of this goodness as well as the game was progressing out. T-Watt has been playing pretty well. He's been creating a lot of space. To be fair, they've been investing a lot of resources into him, a lot of nano boosts. Whenever Pan's not on whenever he's not on the Genji, but he's been getting value out of a lot of his leaps. He's been playing well. Honestly, I've been impressed.
Yeah, I think so, because as well, T-Watt has a bit of a difficult setup, I think. A lot of the time they're playing with Mickey on the Brigitte rather than on a flex tank, as they have been over the course of quite a lot of King's Row. But back in the game now, everybody, with China having just recovered from that point C defense. They're still against the ropes.
Yeah, and look at this aggression by Thailand immediately there, moving into the back. Tito actually uses Primal Rage to move in there. He's seeing if he can cause any disruption, allowing them to get in, but China going to be opting to use a couple of ultimates in return. And Thailand immediately, they disengage. They do not want anything to do with this fight. They're going to try and force out these ults from China, reset this one themselves, build up a couple of ultimates maybe, and try and go again the next round.
Absolutely. Thailand, they need 3 ults to be able to execute a really strong fight every single time. That's a Buto's EMP, and that's the Nano Blade from Padapan and Pani S. And it looks like they're getting all 3 up. No sound barrier on the other team. And EMP maybe there for Shy if they take the initiative, but really they're relying on Gushu and Leaf to be able to create space, push people away, and then get counter picks of their own when Padapan goes in.
All right, Josh, I'm getting excited, lad. You know what's coming.
How many is he gonna get?
It's time for the pump lead, but he got hacked! Oh no! That's exactly what they needed to be doing here. China have absolutely destroyed them. Leaf pulls out the blade. He gets 3 kills to boot. That was... I can't actually believe that.
That was
the hack
so
in
good.
the nick of time. Pan, yes, the nano boost is wasted. It didn't even come out onto Pan.
The split-second timing there is so good.
That's
coming out from
ridiculous.
Shy. But you gotta say, if we've been calling it time and again, it must be obvious to China that Thailand are just running the same play over and over again. And that time predicted with ease.
EMP into the back. China looking for any more kills they can get. Pan's going to be falling. They switch over to the Rhine Zarya now. And what good is it really going to be doing them if they can't use any of their abilities? They have to back off again. 1 minute on the clock now for Thailand to make something happen. And they do have a couple of ults, so it's not the end of the world. They might look for a speedy re-engage here.
Don't really understand this from Thailand as well, because they've moved away from ultimates that charge very quickly to go towards the Graviton Surge, which doesn't. Budo with the EMP up top. A lot of hacks up on that high ground, but
nice
they don't
heals.
have anyone to contest it.
Panias keeps him back up.
Stuck to the floor.
Still looking for more opportunities to take this team fight. Sandbar used by both these teams after the EMPs were used by both of them. Guxu's going to be the recipient of this nano boost. Use the Primal Rage, but Tinawatt with the charge. He's going to control him up for the time being, but this is another one team fight for China and Thailand. You got to reset fast and hard, lads. You got 25 seconds remaining.
Mickey is going to have his ultimate. Tinawatt may have an opportunity for an Earth Shatter. It's difficult. Shy on the Bastion.
Okay.
Was that
they did this before. They've done this before on King's Row on the final point. And teams, when they're not prepared for it, they get melted.
Yeah. It was reinforced last time on the right heart in Titawatt's position, and he just could not keep that shield up.
Oh boy.
They haven't even come into his sight line yet, but as soon as they do, they're going to meet their doom.
Leave with the blade, sends it out, unleashes it, but the stun is there! Mickey, that might just be the play that has given them an opportunity to win this one out, but now they're going to deal with the Bastion straight across the map. Shy is launching bullets into them. The Earth Shatter from Tinawatt, not good enough for the sleep. That might just be doing it. Still looking for more kills. Pan finally finds Sky. Sky in the back lanes. The Graviton Surge used as well just to control them up, but now China are getting the respawns back at it. Thailand are just failing to push this one in, and China doing a fantastic job of controlling them up out of this team fight. Only a few of them remaining here, Josh, and this looks to be it. China going to be taking back number 2.
Unfortunate from Thailand there after such a well-executed final moment. That Earth Shatter into the sleep combo to give them an opportunity, a little window to take Shy out, but they just couldn't, and he doesn't stay asleep forever. China are able to stabilize and they take King's Row, but this is closer than I thought it would be, Brent.
Yeah, absolutely. Thailand, I think they can be pleased so far with the effort they put forward against China, which we would deem the strongest team in this World Cup. It's not too bad, you know, they're definitely pulling out all the stops, I believe the saying is. I could have just butchered that. Is that a saying?
I don't know. I don't think you ever say sayings properly anyway, so I don't know why you're even worried about it. This Mickey play, so fantastic. Took Leave out.
Oh, but he pooped off at the same time. I didn't even recognize this at the time. Okay, I mean, that was honestly momentum changing between Mickey and taking out Leave by Dragon Blade. But
I love what Leave was doing, you know. You dash into the back lines and you use your Dragon Blade, and that forces all the positioning forwards into the Bastion's sight lines. So the way that China are taking these fights and using their ultimates, they're really putting thought into it beforehand. And this was always my criticism watching Chinese Overwatch in the past, was that even though they had very strong individual players, they didn't always sync it up as well. They didn't have the teamwork or the strategy. This Chinese World Cup team really looks like they're taking another step forward for Chinese Overwatch.
Yeah, very pleased so far with the game we've been having. And this audience as well in the Overwatch World Cup Thailand stop. They've been absolutely brilliant. With that being said, we've got plenty more Overwatch coming up. We're only halfway through this match so far. And we're going to be going to a quick break, but after that, more action.